Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Anise Colliff with Acupuncture Fit.
And I'm Dr. Cornelia Franz of the Franz Center.
Welcome to our live today on how to simplify your health. And today's topic is how to simplify your health when it comes to stress and the holidays.
Right. So the word holiday is really meant to be holy day. And they clearly are no longer holy days. And this just becomes a time of such significant stress for everybody, even though it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year. So, you can avoid your stress, because I don't like the words manage stress. If you're going to have it, then react differently or find ways to avoid it. And we have a couple of ways to present. For me, number one is decide. Decide you're not going to be stressed. And make decisions surrounding the holidays. I mean, through the years, I've seen a lot of blended families, and they seem to have so much stress because they're trying to get to 4 sets of grandparents, on Christmas Day. And the family winds up really not having such a wonderful day.
Right.
So if you decide ahead of time and discuss with, family members and decide what's important to you.
Yes.
Okay, because if you, as a nuclear family, want to be home and have your kids, then do that. And you can see the grandparents on other days. Trying to fit everything into one day, especially if people live an hour or 2 hours away, it just becomes so unrestful. So you decide. The other thing that I really don't care for about these holidays anymore is they are so incredibly materialistic. And everybody is, I've got to buy this person a present, I've got to buy that person a present. Actually, no, you don't. You're not obligated in any way to do that. That is your choice. And if you're happy with it, then do it. As a sidebar, one of the things I love about Marie Kondo and, simplifying your life and tidying up is she says, when you're trying to debride things, you put everything in the center of the room, put it in a pile, and one by one, if it brings you joy, then keep it. So really, a lot of this can be, if it brings you joy, then do it. And if it doesn't, you don't need to. Because we're not obligated. Well, what if they get mad at me? Well, that's their problem, not yours. Okay? So,
That's so good. Happiness, love is a matter of conscious choice. Right? And in speaking to that, I think of a lot of feelings that may surface during this holiday time. Right?
Right.
We have the freedom, we have the capability to decide to be happy. We have the freedom and the capability to decide how we react to our feelings. There's no such thing as a wrong feeling. Where the moral implication, where the health implication comes into play is how we act on those feelings.
Correct.
Right? And those actions can lead us down a path of better sleep, more energy, better relationships with our family. So in this stressful time, decide, hey, how am I going to act and react to the feelings that I may be getting inside, right?
Right. Emotions are meant to guide us and to direct us, So I'm angry. Okay, what are you angry about? Well, something made me angry. Well, you don't have to go on the warpath about it.
Correct.
That's a choice. So they're meant to guide. They're not meant to rule.
Exactly.
And feelings are fleeting, okay? I read this terrific book by a guy, he's got a Vietnamese name. The only thing I can remember is Thich, like Thich is his last name. And the book's about anger, okay? And in there, it's a good book. But he says, and I thought about it and went, oh my God, that makes sense. Feelings, emotions, they only last 90 seconds physiologically. 90 seconds, whether it's anger, joy, sadness. In the body, it's only processed for 90 seconds. Anything that continues after that is you making a decision and a choice to keep it going. And
so good.
For me, that was just very helpful, because there were times I would get angry and then I'd just time myself 90 seconds and go, okay, it's passed, and decide did I want to continue to be angry or not.
Yeah, and 90 seconds goes by very quickly. So
Right.
So that's great. So tip number 1 is decide. Decide joy. Decide positivity in your actions and reactions to this stressful time. Tip number 2 in stress on how to avoid this during the holiday time is prevent.
Yes.
So I know in our practice, we have a motto and we say, heal before you feel. And that's often not the case in a lot of patients that come to see us, right? I'd say 99% of our patients come after the fact, right?
Yes.
And the 5 most dangerous words in health, in my opinion, are maybe it will go away.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking procrastination, and in regards to prevention, the key is to avoid that, right?
Yes.
And there's many ways, because we are bombarded in this season as we go from fall even to more blistering cold winter months, where barometric pressure is changing, right? Where outside seasonal factors are changing that can really bombard our health. It's very important that we prevent with herbaceuticals.
Mm-hmm. The immunity that we have works wonders to prevent. If you are sick or you're flying, I mean, you can prevent with immunity, but air and open air can work. The tummy tea or stomach tea is awesome. If you decide to overeat or you decide to eat foods you shouldn't, then the tummy tea can be very helpful in resetting that.
That's wonderful.
Right. What you do can obviously help prevent.
Right. One of my favorite recipes is apple cider vinegar honey tea in this cold time, if that's good for your body type. And Dr. Franz actually has a whole program out of her office through another physician she's partnered with in determining what is good for your body type. And there's so many different ways to prevent. My goodness. I mean, I offer even it's called Old Indian Wild Cherry Bark Syrup. I promise it tastes a lot better than it sounds, right? And that's loaded with echinacea. It's loaded with zinc and a lot of herbs to help build that immune system during this season.
But acupuncture can too.
Yes.
Like if someone is prone to headaches or different things during this time, setting an acupuncture appointment to help reset can also be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have a lot of sadness at the holidays because they've had deaths in the family around this time. Homeopathy can help, but acupuncture, I think, can also do that. I mean, because what I love about acupuncture, this is what I know, thimbleful, okay, is the fact that it straightens the flow of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And grief, sadness, stress, all of these things can create blockages.
Correct.
And it helps remove or prevent blockages.
Correct. And that's right. I love how you describe that. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking acupuncture, that voodoo medicine, I promise it's everything but voodoo, because really what we're working on is the body's flow and blood flow. And when blood flow is impeded in the body and that's not nourishing certain organs, they become deficient. So in this time of dryness, in this time of cold, that affects our lung and our large intestine channels. Grief, the emotion of grief affects the lung and the large intestine channel, right? So there, not only do you have these thoughts of maybe missing somebody, but also you've got an external exogenous pathogenic factor, aka weather is what we call it in traditional Chinese medicine, affecting this flow. So coming in, getting our specialized scalp acupuncture treatment can help move, that energy through and kind of help somebody overcome and walk with that grief versus, suppressing it or brushing aside, which is kind of the worst thing you would want to do for that.
Because I think the biggest thing that I know that I've worked for and continue to do in my practice, and I know you do, and it's part of what we're doing here, Simplify Your Health, is giving you the tools and the information so that you can prevent problems but also heal from the inside out.
Right.
Because a lot of what we're trying to do is think we can heal from the outside in, and you can't. You just really manage symptoms that way.
Right.
So, sometimes you're like, oh, no, it's too much. And I go, no, the simpler you get and the more you decide and the more you follow through and the more you cease to live to please others, all right, and work with them instead, then the better you'll get.
That's so powerful, prevention. So powerful.
So our third tip for the holidays is?
Enjoy.
Right. And you may be saying, how can we enjoy when you just told us all that? Because you decided, you prevented, and so now with the decisions you've made, all that's left is to enjoy. And you rest. What does that mean?
Rest. What is that?
Yeah.
Especially in our society. I love talking about rest because rest is when our body gets the chance to heal. Mm-hmm. Right? And when we're going, that's we're using a limited amount of energy that we have until our body's depleted of it. And then when we don't rest, it doesn't, become restored.
Right.
And then you get this vicious cycle where eventually a patient can lead to burnout, extreme fatigue.
But rest is more than sleep. It's a cessation of the activities that are creating your stress.
Correct.
So it's, being away from work. I mean, rest can be you're in a different environment. If you like the mountains, then you go to the mountains and you're walking and enjoying. Rest can be, living in the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what is that? That means in this moment, I appreciate what I see.
Right.
Have you ever just sat and watched the squirrels? All right? Sometimes the squirrels, when you see different trees, these squirrels go way out on the tiniest twig, and you're like, dude, you're going to fall. And then they just quickly jump to another twig, and they're in another tree. Just simple little things.
One of the best tips that I give my patients, or a tip to give my patients when they're suffering from extreme anxiety, right? Because that's worrying about the future, right? Or extreme depression, worrying about the past, in addition to whatever modalities they're doing, is to do exactly what you just did. Open up that window. Look at the blue sky. Look at the snow falling or rain falling. Or the leaves. Sometimes I'll even get caught up because I've done this exercise so many times, even for myself, because nobody can avoid anxiety and depression, right? We just need to know how to manage it and become more centered in our lives. Is I've caught myself, and you might think I'm weird, but this really helps. I look at a leaf, maybe dangling from a tree, and I'll look at the veins in the leaf, and I'll look at the color of the leaf, and there's just such beauty in that, right? And how that leaf was created beyond my power, right? And then I just see the leaf fall, and it hits the ground, and it's like, oh my gosh, I just experienced something that was so simple that happened, when it happens most of the time when I'm sitting here working with patients or, going to visit family. There's so much that goes on around us that is just beautiful in nature that can help us train our bodies to live in the moment, right?
Right.
So take time to enjoy.
Right.
What do you do for leisure? Right? What do you do for recreation? Those are two ways to rest.
And every choice you make creates a reaction. It's an action, so you get a reaction. So we're products of our choices. And many are really helpful and some are not. So what do you do with a wrong choice or a bad choice? Well, you learn from it. Listen to the rain when there is rain. And it's because it's so soft. There's actually a terrific book. And since we're talking about holy days here and gifts, this book is called 1,000 Gifts, and by Ann Voskamp. And it's really worth reading. All moms will just adore it. Her challenge in the first part of the book is to write down 1,000 things you're thankful for.
Wow.
So even if you don't read it, if you write down those 1,000 things, that can be helpful, and then reread them. And it can be things from your past, right? And then things from the future. And in her book, she chronicles a lot of what she wrote down, and they were all simple. And then when I did it, it was like, oh yeah, you're thankful for nature or the day off or just the simple things you do. So again, it's simplifying, and things are simple. They are not complicated. I don't like that word. Complicated just means you're not willing to look at the truth. Things can be complex, but not complicated. I got that from watching Charmed.
That's so good.
Any of you who've ever watched Charmed, they'd always say, oh, it's complicated. And I went, it's not complicated. You don't want to tell the truth. You don't want to tell your witches,
Right.
Yeah,
it's only as complicated as we make it, right?
Correct.
Right? And when we compare, we despair.
Oh, nice.
That's a big one during this season, right? So I really hope y'all have enjoyed this and learned something or gained something. And if you like what you're hearing, please share this with your friends and your family, because we all know everyone's suffering from stress, and it can be, a great and beautiful holy day.
Sorry, I'm looking at these.
It's okay, yeah. Or it can be a very stressful time. So.
Oh, look.
Oh, hey, from Kim.
Hi, Chow.
Yes.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Alex.
Yeah.
How wonderful.
Chow from Rome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Rome.
Thanks for watching.
I know.
That's awesome. Buon Natale in the future.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Yeah. Oh, they just send a heart. So yeah, if you're liking this, please share this with your friends. Heart it. They said thanks.
Yeah.
That's great. The power of social media. It's fantastic to be used for the good, right?
Right.
So
we hope that you do have wonderful holidays. We will see you next month before the Christmas one, but enjoy the one this month. And again, be thankful, be grateful, decide, prevent, and enjoy. It's a lot simpler than you think.
Absolutely. And if you want more information on how to contact Dr. Franz or become a patient with her, you can go check out her website at thefranzcenter.com and on social media such as Instagram and Facebook. And I'm Dr. Anise, and you can check us out at acupuncturefit.com or on Facebook, Instagram, a lot of different social media outlets. And shoot us a message, put a comment in the comment box if you like what you're hearing, and we'll gladly answer it ourselves.
All right.
Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and thanks for joining.
All right. See you next time.